one of the things that's going on when we're talking about short term, oil right now, and we touched about it a little bit when we were talking about the potential recession, is it's on a tear. It's up 10x since pandemic
Yep.
lows, up 40% in just the last few weeks.
Yep.
The I believe at the lows of the pandemic, oil was around $10 a barrel, and it's currently well above $100 a barrel. Do you have any interest in? I know that we talked that you're not a big oil guy, but is there any interest in this at all in any of the ETFs in this sector?
Um, I really hope I don't get any hate for this in the comments, but here goes nothing.
Okay, lay it on us.
The oil trade is for suckers.
Okay.
I think oil has, again, a terminal value of zero. You're seeing demand destruction. A lot of people are like, okay, so one of the arguments I see for oil is,
Mhm.
yes, electric vehicles are taking some demand away, but, there's
There's a demand
population.
here and now for still gas.
Yeah, it's here and now for still gas, and like population growth means and urbanization means more car sales, which means, even if gas powered cars have a lower and lower portion of the pie, that
Hmm.
slice is actually still growing because the pie is growing. So you actually don't get
Okay.
demand destruction, demand growth there. And that's an argument I see get thrown around a lot, but it totally misunderstands the fact that new passenger car sales globally used to grow at a very steady rate and have not grown over the past 3 or 4 years. Like growth has been flatlined there.
Hmm.
Now, why is that? Well, population growth is still normal, so it's not
Okay.
population growth. Urbanization trends are still alive and well, but you are seeing a lot of countries have already urbanized mostly. And so the urbanization tailwind for passenger car sales growth has uh, faded over the past few years. And then I think above all else is the introduction of ride sharing technology platforms like Uber, like Lyft, like Didi, where
Hmm.
if you're living in the city, you don't need a car at all anymore. In fact, all of my friends that do live in cities do not, like actually in urban areas, do not have cars
Hmm.
at all. And they have no intention to ever own a car. I have a friend who um, actually ended up becoming an engineer at Uber, and he never got his license, just
Okay.
never saw a need. And I think there are more and more people that are like that. And that as autonomous driving becomes a thing, that's only going to become more and more proliferated across the country, so across the world. And so I think that when you look at the long term demand drivers for oil and you're relying on gas powered cars to keep selling, the reality is the overall pie of passenger car sales is shrinking. And gas powered cars' share of that pie is shrinking too. So you're getting a double hit on the volume of gas powered car sales out there. I think that's a real big headwind for oil. I think that solar is really advancing, wind is really advancing, hydrogen is really advancing. I told you that oil consumption per capita in the United States is already down 20% from
Hmm.
the 1970s. And my guess is it's going to continue to keep dropping at an even accelerated rate throughout the 2020s. So you're going to get a lot of demand destruction in the oil markets. Not to mention, as oil prices keep climbing, that's going to cause new supply to come on, right? Because
Hmm.
refiners that were offline because they weren't profitable are now going to come online because they're going to start making money at these much higher levels, which means the market's going to get flooded with supply at the same time you're getting demand destruction. I think this ends horribly for oil bulls. Horribly. Does that mean you won't make money on this?
Hmm.
You could still make money.
Okay.
Does oil run? Goldman Sachs, Bank of America, a lot of firms are upgrading their oil price forecast. Can oil go to 135? Can it go to 140, 150, 175? Russia come out and said it's going to go to 300. That's not going to happen. Never listen to Russia on anything. But yeah, could we make a run at 150? Could we make a push towards 175, 200? Maybe. That may be in the cards here in 2022. I'm not saying that won't happen. It may happen. The problem is, are you smart enough to buy now and sell then?
Hmm.
Or are you going to buy now and think I'm going to sell 150? Tell yourself you're going to sell 150. Hits 150. It's going to go higher. It goes to 175. Oh my God, it's going to keep going higher. It goes to 200. Oh, it's going to keep going higher. And then boom, in a matter of 2 weeks, it's back down to 100. Because that is the playbook that I very realistically think could happen here. Are you going to have the fortitude inside of yourself to sell at a peak or at a relative high, as opposed to always wanting more? Because what happens psychologically with humans as investors is we always want more, and very few of us sell at the peak. Almost all of us buy low and then end up selling low too, because we didn't time the market perfectly. And I'm not a guy that wants to time the market. That's not my thing. I'm about timing the market, not timing the market. And I think if you were to buy and hold oil for the next 5 years, you're going to lose money, especially from these levels. You buy and hold for the next 10 years, you're going to lose a lot of money over the 10 years. So my strategy is buy and hold. My strategy is not buy and sell in 3 months.
Yep.
Because of that, I am completely bearish on oil. I will never touch oil. To those who make money on it, tip of the hat. I will never, ever, ever, ever scold anybody for making money in the markets. I think that's absolutely fantastic. But I think a lot of people are going to get fooled into thinking this is a long-term thing, and they're going to be left holding the bag at 140, 150 when oil is at 50 or $40 in 2 or 3 years.